What's up y'all, it's Arin here, and today I'm gonna try to make probably one of the boldest moves in my Geometry Dash journey. I'm going to attempt to jump from 9 circles to Stalemate. Jawbreaker and 9 circles are very wave-heavy demons, while Stalemate puts more emphasis on the non-wave parts of the level. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I'm probably slightly wave-carried because of course I am, so this could either go just fine or absolutely terribly. But here's how this is going to go. The practice copy of Stalemate I'll be playing on has 6 start positions, which were placed at 20%, 33%, 46%, 64%, 80%, and 93%. To make this challenge easier on myself, I've split this up into 10 goals, 1 per day. Today is day 1, so I think 80 to 100 is a reasonable start. Not child's play, but not unrealistic either. Now keep in mind I have no clue how this is going to go. I could end up getting half of the level to 100 on day 1, but the only way to find out is to get started. The date as of recording this clip is July 8th, 2026, and this is day 1 of attempting to jump to Stalemate. The last part of Stalemate is objectively the easiest part of the level! It's literally just a short dual ship part. Simple as that. It didn't take me too long to get 93 to 100, so I moved back 1 start position and started playing from 80%, which is a slow ball part with occasional tight timings. It's also sort of a memory part in the same way that part of Geometrical Dominator with the blanking structures is considered memory, but I digress. After a few minutes of trying to figure out the ball part, I eventually got a run of 80 to 96. Not long after that run, I met the day 1 goal of 80 to 100. All of that happened in just 10 minutes. I had more than enough energy to keep going, so I moved back yet another start position. The fast ship at 64% was by far the hardest part of the level. You'll see why later. This part requires a lot of swooping, then some straight fly, some tinier swoops, upside down straight fly, and then some crazy orb timings. But while practicing the fast ship part, I realized something pretty important. For some reason, OBS wasn't recording the game properly and was stuck on a random frame for when I was still at the title screen. I then proceeded to redo 93 to 100 and 80 to 100 after fixing the display bug to prove I wasn't bullshitting you, and redo those runs I did. By the way, this green dot in the top left corner tells you that the runs I'm doing are legit. If the dot turns red, that means I used a hack that would invalidate my run, but it never turns red and you won't have to worry about it ever doing so because I'm not Space USA. Before we get back to the video, you're probably wondering how I was showing you working footage for my first 2 runs if OBS was frozen. I simply used footage for my other runs because what else could I do? Anyway, after grinding from 64% for a while, I ended up getting this run. Oh, 64 to 90. I was getting surprisingly consistent at the fast ship because not long after 64 to 90, I ended up topping that run. After another 64 to 90 run, I successfully pulled off 64 to 100. At this point, I was really starting to surprise myself with my progress. 64 to 100 on day 1. I have 36% of the level down already. That is crazy! And I've been playing for like half an hour. Maybe I'm not as bad as I think. The goal I had in mind for day 3 was 46 to 100, so that is definitely a ways back from 64, but let's see what 46 has to offer. Oh, this part, the UFO. The notorious UFO part. The first half can get consistent the more you play, but that cannot be said about the latter half. It is incredibly easy to get misaligned if you're not an absolute timing god, and once you get misaligned, you might as well say goodbye to your run. But I wasn't about to let a janky UFO part beat me down only half an hour into practice. That energy I mentioned I had a lot of, getting 64 to 100 barely put a dent in it, and I sure let that show, but the level wasn't going down without a fight either. Eventually, I decided to briefly switch up my strategy a little bit. I might have to play this in speed hack a little bit. to get a taste of, the click pattern, and I can try my best to apply it in, like, full speed. After playing from 46% at half speed, I figured out the click pattern at 53%, turned off speed hack, and kept practicing. Now that I knew what to do at 53, I started to get a bit further. Oh, why'd I click? What the fuck? 45 to 57. Oh my god, I actually did it. Okay. Oh, 45 to 58. Yeah, I think I could really use another start pause there, but again, doing these big runs all at once does build endurance faster, I think. Or whatever the hell I'm talking about. Oh, 45 to 59, getting closer. But yeah, this part definitely seems easier. Until I realized what the end of the UFO part had in store for me. You may have noticed that my progress has slowed to where my personal bests are improving 1% at a time. While this UFO part is no joke, like I've already explained. Even excluding the fact that I was going for a bigger run to 100, this part took me the most time to practice. And the last part of the UFO was absolutely part of the reason why. I didn't get high enough. No. Oh my god. Say hello to whatever the hell this thing is. If you don't line up perfectly at 62, you're done. And if you line up in a way that makes you touch the ship portal from the side, I sure hope you let go of your input device before touching it, or else that's a one-way ticket to Spike Village. Oh, that counted as a jump. Damn. I spent a good while creeping up on that ship portal before eventually reaching it from 64. Oh my god, I did it. I made it to 64 from 45. Oh my god, that's huge. Okay, now I just need to do that again and get as far as I can. Now it was just a matter of consistency and making sure those orbs didn't get the best of me. Way easier said than done. Or was it? Somehow, when I properly entered the ship part for the first time, I actually got to 100% first try. No fucking shy. Trust me when I say this. I got incredibly lucky. Okay, so, my goal for day 4 was 33 to 100. There is no way I'm getting this, but I will try. Oh, it's the wave part that's like bugged from Star Pause. Okay, I'm gonna need to make a copy for this. The slow wave is like piss easy, hold on. Now it was time for the slow wave. This part is thankfully about as learny as Stalemate gets. From 33, it's just a matter of following a series of indicators almost exactly. First there are arrows, then circles. The circles serve as hold or release indicators depending on what height they were placed at. But that's not all. A few of the blocks in the wave part weren't accounted for, so if you release too early or hold too long, you'll bonk on something. Like I said when I was prepping for 33% though, the wave part was piss easy for me. Of course it was the wave part I was most confident in, so it didn't take much time for me to reach 46 and get this run. Okay, 33 to 60 already. My progress started to slow down again though. $33 to 90. This was about as good as things got from 33%. If you couldn't tell, it was at this point that the Orb Jacket 77 really started to give me a hard time. I just could not pull off 33 to 100 for the life of me. The run you just saw was my one shot to complete the run, and I blew it. Every fucking time, dude. Honestly, at this point, I'm willing to just skip to going from 20. And if I get good enough at like, let's say if I keep getting like 20 to 50 runs, then we skip to just playing from 0. Cause like, it's not even that I'm not getting consistent enough, it's that I keep getting misaligned. I can totally do the run, it's just that I keep getting unlucky. While I'm going strong, let's try to play from 20. Now, I'll spare you a few minutes and spoil that I did not get 20 to 100, but before logging off for the day, I decided to do some runs from 0 out of curiosity. I did not regret it. Let's see how our day 1 practice treated us. 17%? Okay. New best by 4%. $31. Oh, that is huge. I really want to get to the UFO part now. If I can get to the UFO from 0, that is already half of the level down. I could potentially get this in 2 runs already. Stalemate in 2 runs on day 1 would go crazy, dude. $50%. I literally just beat my day 7 goal. My goal for day 7 was to get 46% from 0. I just beat that. And now I have the level in 2 runs, holy shit. Because I got 46 to 100 and now I have 50 from 0. Stalemate in 2 runs on day 1. This is actually crazy. I'm so ahead. I thought this would be like extremely freaking difficult and would take me like weeks. Nope. Level in 2 runs day 1. Am I like unstoppable? Well, no. Because if I was truly unstoppable, I'd be getting this progress on a list demon on day 1, which is not possible. I am extremely proud of tonight's progress. Like, I surprised myself with how far I got tonight. I'm not sure if I'll actually put this, I'm not sure if I'll actually do this frickin' daily. That's probably not a good idea, but stalemate in 2 runs on day 1. I'm so in shock that I'm like, I can't help but repeat myself. I forgot that I have like a 22 decibel gain on the mic. I need to stay a decent distance away. I could potentially beat this in like within the next 2 days. This is making me just want to hone my skills exclusively with like old levels, because they have like way less objects, so they're easier to run. My computer cannot handle modern 2.2 levels. Most 2.2 levels in general, because they're mostly unoptimized. So day 2, I guess we're gonna keep working on 33 to 100, and if I get that, 20 to 100, and then we'll keep playing from 0. So yeah, see you next time for a reminder of where we're at in terms of time. It is half an hour till July 9th, 2026. Alright, the date is July 10th. Yesterday was, not fun, and neither was last night. Needless to say, I'm pretty low on energy right now. Last night and the night before, I slept like absolute shit, so that's fucking great. So yeah, it'll be a miracle if I can pull anything off today. So, it's day 2, so the goal that we would have been going for today would be 64 to 100, but as we all know from the previous footage, I'm way ahead. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna get all the runs that I already got over again to prove that I can still do all of that shit, and then I'm gonna keep going for 33 to 100. If I get 33 to 100, I'll play from 20, and then if I give up, I'll just do some attempts from 0. Again, I don't know, man. I'm sorry if this part of the video is like really boring. I'm not in a good mood. Things took a complete 180 yesterday. I didn't even have time to play Geometry Dash yesterday, cause I was out of the house, and then, never mind, just get to the fucking gameplay. Get back on the fucking level. Despite my little break day being mentally rough on me, I still hopped back on GD the day after to grind Stalemate. Again, no regrets to be seen. As I already said, I began my next practice session by doing what I'd like to call the Vortrox Strategy. Get through each part of the level at least once, then play from 0. I was doing quite a bit more than that in my practice session, but I still technically followed Vortrox's strategy because, well, I did get through each part at least once. You know what you can do at least once? Hit that subscribe button, baby, yeah! Because we absolutely demolished 400, and now we're setting our sights on 500, let's go! Alright, back to not copying others. I got up to 64 to 100 before hitting another progress wall. The orb jank at 77 was preventing me from getting 46 to 100 again, and since I was in a way worse mood compared to day 1, I did not take kindly to falling victim to this gameplay over and over. You have got to be fucking kidding me. If I die like that from 0... Are we serious? The first time to the top spike, the second time to the bottom. Are we just not allowed to get 45 to 100 today? Or 46 to 100 since it's 45.92? 0.929? No, that's essentially 46%. Are we just not allowed to get 46 to 100 today? And the best part is, I could have made it if I kept holding, but of course, I just had to let go, cause the brain decided, you know what, let's do something different this time. Oh, okay, that's a new one. Oh my god. Anything but 46 to 100. So when I go up there, I should literally just fall back down immediately. Like, that should be a double click, straight up. And then if I get past that, I probably would have fucked up the dual ship. Whatever. Whatever, I've gotten it before, let's just play from fucking 30. Eventually, I decided I'd had enough and skipped to playing from 33%, but after getting no interesting runs from there either, I skipped again to playing from 20%. For some reason, the latter half of the slow wave was kicking my ass from 20% because apparently playing from a different start position means my muscle memory goes out the window, but after getting a run of 20 to 50, I decided I was done practicing and started playing from 0 again. For some reason, I struggled for a while to get past the slow wave from 0. Here's a compilation of my reactions to weird deaths. That would happen again, dude, oh my god. Let me get past the fucking wave. Dude, this exact click is such a joke. I don't understand what my major malfunction is with this specific click. This one click. Oh my god. Why does everything fucking hate me this much? That is literally like a hitbox corner death too. I literally just barely hit that. Doggy genuinely has the patience of a saint, dude. I could not play a level for 365 days. Consecutively or non-consecutively, dude. Literal saint patience right there. $53. Well, a new best is a new best. Let's keep trying. But once I started getting to 46, it was only up for a while. Until this run. Oh my god! Oh, okay. I almost just fluked the whole fucking level from 53. What the actual hell? That made me feel much better. I basically fluked the second half of the UFO. And, like, basically the entire ship. Well, second ship? Oh my god. Dude, if I'd hit that last orb, I probably would have been in that the level this attempt. Well, I'd be a fool to stop now, so let's keep going. Dude, there's actually a genuine shot I beat the whole level on day 2. I would proceed to get 79% several more times from 0, and get increasingly more frustrated after every death. But for just a bit, let's wind down and switch to my regular editing style, because I think the commentary on some of the non-79% attempts was genuinely somewhat funny. Oh, and guess what? Day 8's goal was 64, that's done. I almost got the goal for day 9. Day 9 was 80%. You wanna know something? When I tried this level out for the shits and giggles, back when I was playing on 60 Hz, none of my attempts made it past this swoop right here. I always died to like the saw on the left. Actually, there was like one attempt that made it past the little swoop back there, and I died to like 13. I don't know when I got 14, but that was probably much more recent. What the fuck? If I was not recording, nobody would believe that. What the hell? No, I skipped the last orb again. Are you kidding me? 79 times 2. Oh my god, it's always by the slightest bit, too. Never in the middle of the block. Always at one of the corners, dude. It's usually not at the start of the block either, it's usually at the end. Ah, orb skip. Damn it. 78 though. We're literally so close. We're so close. I just need to hit the orbs just right. And not die to the ball portal.
Wait, 55? 5-5! 5-5! 5-5!
Well, there's your leisurely dose of 5-5. I'm actually curious how far I could get in Stalemate Redux once I beat this. I actually, I think the gameplay for Stalemate Redux is a decent bit different from the original Stalemate. No, the orbs again, of course. At least I didn't die to the last one, I skipped the first one. Oh my god, man. Is there any way to make that part more consistent? That part is like a genuine leap of faith, and most of the time I fall into like a pile of bricks. No, the last orb, it's always the last fucking orb. What is that, 79 times like 5 or 6? I lost count. Oh, I clicked way too early there. What? I'm gonna have to say that that is probably like one of few UFO deaths that were actually on me. No, we did the thing again. Oh my god, man. Yo, 64 on attempt 64 though. It's not actually my 64th attempt, I've had way more than that, it's just that the attempt counter resets when you exit and go into another level. I'm very curious as to what my attempt count will be once I beat this. I knew some jank was gonna happen, I didn't even... Oh my god. Dude, come on, man. One of these attempts I've gotta get the orbs right. And I'm going to, I just don't know when. The development is like absolutely crazy. I went from being surprised that I got 50% from 0 to not caring about dying to 53. I guess that's just how the progression goes, dude. The shock just fades the more you play. Dude, when you stop and think about it, it's really fucking surprising. In 4 hardests, I've gone from an easy demon to a fucking insane demon. How did we get here?
Wait,
Okay, we get it. I wonder if that mod is customizable, cause if it is, if I can add like my own events for certain percentages, I want to add a Vortrox 92% one. Of course! Why can I never get the orbs right, dude? I'm practicing that part, I don't fucking care. I'm saying that like it's a threat, but like, genuinely why? Okay, well there's another 64 to 100 run. Now can we do that, but from 0, please, dude? Jeez, that orb part is way harder than it has any right to be. Like, literally all of the parts with orbs are choke points. I'm not even kidding. Except for the ending ball. That's where orbs are most common, not in goddamn ship and UFO gameplay. I should have said more instead of most, because I would definitely say orbs are more common in cube gameplay than, ball. It's always the last orb, I swear to God, it's always the last one. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I literally don't. What is it? I feel like if Stalemate got rated nowadays, it would probably just be like a really high tier hard demon. And that's not to say that I'm indirectly predicting that Stalemate will get downgraded at some point. I hope it won't, and I hope it never has been. The difficulty standard has gone like so high up for extremes, it's crazy. Like, I would not be surprised if I woke up one day and the first thing I see is Red World has been demoted to an insane demon. When it comes to like certain classic insane demons temporarily getting promoted to extreme for like an hour or two, I feel like that it just really puts the situation on the table and makes it like not so hypothetical. Cause like if insane demons can get put above Red World like even temporarily, then I definitely think the odds of Red World getting demoted are non-zero. Which reminds me, I remember when Extreme Park got demoted to Medium Demon. I believe that was the first ever hard demon. I need to check after this if it got re-promoted or promoted back. Oh, what? That is a new one. Skip the first orb. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I might actually have to place like an extra start pause just so I can specifically practice those orb timings. It's always the last one. Dude, I just practiced this. Why is it only possible in practice? You cannot make this shit up. I practiced that so many times and got several attempts past the orbs. But when it's from 0, I always miss the last one at the very least. Why? I don't get it. Of all things for this to be a consistent issue, why this? It's so simple. The worst thing is that one attempt where I actually hit all the orbs but released too early. Like that is so annoying. The one time I got past the orbs, I died to genuine human error. Right before the easy part. That's... Oh, okay. Do 100,000 attempts. That's an interesting achievement to get in the middle of my first insane demon. Stop trying. I don't think I will, Drop Top. The Rob Top James. Nah, but for real though, why does James sound fitting for, like, if Rob Top had a middle name? Cause I don't think he does. Why does Rob Top James, why does Robert James Topala kind of go hard? Like, I feel like that could actually be his full name. And for some reason, the name Felix is now coming to mind, so shout out to all my viewers named Felix. Let's get some W Felix in the comments. Every fucking time. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Dude, I'm just a broken record at this point. I've said everything that could possibly be said about this part at this point. It's just astonishing to me how many times have I died to the exact same spot now. It's gotta be over 10 times. I've got to get past this at some point. Why am I stuck here? Is it the nerves? I don't know. You'd think I'd probably like click too early or something, but like, it's always too late. But like, yeah, 79.41 was cool at first, but now it's just getting annoying, cause like, what do you mean? I swear, I feel like I could get more enjoyment out of the entirety of Phobos than dying to 79.41. We'll see, maybe I'll get good enough someday to play Phobos. We'll see if that holds true. At least it wasn't the last one. Bro, if it was the last one, I would've fucking gotten angrier. Oh my god, finally something other than the last one that I choked to. I don't think there's a way to make that orb part consistent, dude. Just fucking get there and hope for the best. That's all that you can really do. Second to last one this time. How many times have I died to 79? I didn't see my death tracker. 79 times 6 and 78 times 8. You ever try to concentrate and then your brain just like points out a subtle detail for you to focus on that'll throw you off in like a bad way? Like when I was close to 50, my brain was just like, hey, your glasses are in a different position or some shit like that, and that caused me to fuck up. Dude, it's always the last one. Now I'm mad. I'm gonna get something to eat. I've been playing for 5 hours straight, not a single run past 79 from 0. Maybe I just need to get something to eat, cause I haven't, but since I slept like shit again, of course I woke up early, so it's only noon right now. 12:38 to be exact. Which means I've been playing since 7 in the morning. I need to figure out something to eat. Maybe I'll get like a buff from the food. Let's call it the food buff. After getting something to eat, I immediately started a new recording and kept playing from 0. Genuinely, what do I say at this point? Genuinely. Like, do I have to do a consistency challenge or something? Yes, apparently I did need to do a consistency challenge, so I made one. I copied the 4 orb clicks from 77, pasted them 3 times in a row, then kept trying to do it in one sitting. Now that I had completed my mini consistency challenge, I was absolutely confident I could get past 79 from 0. Was I correct to be confident? Let's find out. Oh my god. It's either I miss an orb, or I have the confidence to do it but I don't go low enough to hit the first one. No in between. This part is literally impossible from 0, and I thought the wave was bad. God damn. Yes! 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 Oh my god! I didn't fail the end! Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Jump from 9 circles in 2 days! It took 2 days to do the jump. Technically 3 counting the day I didn't play GD. Oh my god! Oh, I'm saving right now. Yes! Oh my god! Thank god I didn't fuck up the end part. Oh my god. That was the most stressful jump I've ever done. I am really getting into the thick of these GD levels, cause obviously the harder they get, the harder it's going to be to beat the level. You're gonna be spending longer, you're gonna be spending more time, more attempts, you're gonna die to dumber deaths. I'm in fucking disbelief right now, bro. How did this happen twice? Intensa emozioni to retina, that's a normal jump. Retina to jawbreaker, that's a hell of a jump. And then retina to 9 circles, that's not even a jump, they're around the same difficulty. 9 circles to stalemate. 2 levels with completely different skill sets. And I still made the jump. Stalemate as my 47th demon is insane. So that is my first ever tier 15. I have no ideas for an outro. I'm just like so in shock right now. I think I'm gonna let editor me do the outro. And that is how I jumped from 9 circles to stalemate. A lot of mandatory practice, a consistency challenge, and determination. Like I said in the middle of the video, my next few demons are going to be around the same difficulty, then I'm gonna slowly work my way up until I can be higher tier insanes, and maybe someday, I can finally beat my first extreme demon. You motherfucker. You thought I wouldn't notice? There are 9 circles.